Hello, Mikhail Kobalia. Welcome to Düsseldorf.
Thank you.
You play this season for Düsseldorfer Schachclub, the current German champion. We are very happy to have you with the team. And we had the home games this weekend against Werder Bremen and now Kirchweihe. You had 2 draws, so your weekend was okay, I would say, yeah?
Yes, so solid play. Just because in team competition, most important not to lose the game because it's 8 boards, but there's many boards, 8 boards, but still every loss it's become less chances for good results. So that's why many players try to play more solidly because if you don't draw, maybe some of your in your team maybe will win. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yesterday it looked a bit as if you had winning chances with your free pawn, but it was not so easy to really push it, yeah?
I was too optimistic maybe because I have extra pawn, but my opponent have good compensation. And one moment I overestimated my chances, and maybe I was lost. But then I understand that my position is quite bad, but I start to play faster and to go to my opponent to Zeitnot, and then finally was complicated game, and finally we drew.
I saw when you were young and as a kid, you were in a so-called pioneer chess school with Alexander Marzia, yeah? That was when you started chess?
No, Alexander Marzia was director of the school, but actually I have another coach. It's Victor Chorny. It's right now he's 84 years old right moment, but he's very active still. And for example, he have with the parachute 3 years ago and so on. So he's very active, and maybe best experience from him was of course some chess, but most about to be active always. To be active in the sport, to be always activity, have work, sport, some kind. Because if you're active, you have some energy, and of course it helps in chess. Not but in life, but in chess especially. I think that's the main have lesson from him, that to be active and always to be in good mood.
And these chess schools, are these normal schools just with a little bit of chess, or is it in addition to regular school?
It was just with nothing with the usual school. So I came for usual school, and then maybe 2 or 3 days a week we have lessons. For example, from 4 till 8. So it's not like internat maybe where you studied and have lessons, chess and something. No. It was was the biggest school in Russia, called Dvorets. It's but it's not nothing with the studies. It's just we studied in a normal school and go for chess lessons there.
Okay, good. Yeah, so you had some good results then as a kid and became a grandmaster in '96, I think, and you have been playing ever since then. You're a full professional, chess professional, yeah? You played once also for Ports, I think, 1 year in the German league.
Yeah, about 70 years ago I played for Ports. Some weekends,
Okay, but after that you did not continue in the German league, yeah?
There was some change because I was also as an active player, but I have also as a coach. And this year it will be 25 years of my coaching career. And my first not student, but my first training experience was with Garry Kasparov 25 years ago. That's why.
I read that you were assisting him there. But was it you were his trainer or you were in his secondment team?
No, that moment it was not clear that second so trainer, because we prepared for match. We play games, we analyze, and so because the main coach at second was Yuri Dakhayan, and he was with him always. But I worked with Kasparov about 3 years, and for matches we played with match with Engines. By the way, in New York was a match with the Deep Junior and also with Deep Fritz. He played there. It was when it was 22 years ago in 2003. It was the match, and we played. It was the first experience when Engines play already very strong, but it was possible for human to win the game, and finally Kasparov drew these matches. It was 3-3. He lost one game, but he won one game also. So it was plus -1 and 4 draws. But it was possible. You have some preparations, and we discovered some nuances of programs. But of course, later it was become impossible to play a real match with the engines.
Yeah, it's funny today that the chess has really changed, because engines and computers sometimes propose a move which seems to be very unnatural. So people start talking about these are engine games or engine openings, but people follow this now partly because it's a different idea, yeah?
Yes, of course, it's a different idea, it's new approaches, but still, for example, Carlson have good results in end games, and because he studied many books. For example, books of Mark Dvoretsky, it's the main books in games, and still, if a player use only engines, okay, of course he will maybe become grandmasters and so on. But if you go from 26 to 27, you need something extra. It's impossible to only use 2 engines, because everybody uses engine. It's not specialty. But you have to work. You have to read books. So of course it will be a big advantage if you study, for example, to read books before. You have already some story. You have some easy books, and then go to most complicated, then go to Dvoretsky, and now there are many good books here. But anyway, it's the main problem is to use this information, because there's information, this huge amount, huge amount of books, huge amount of information, engines, variations, something. But you have to find very useful and very practical, and maybe especially for you, because every player have a different style, different openings, different style of even end games, but you need to have some basement, like Carlson. You have to know technical things, some easy openings, easy end games. Then already you have to plus something. Use some books, and of course in this case you can use engines, because of course books which was written maybe 20 years ago, they already use engines, but not very high level. Right now engines will show everything. If for example 6 or 7 pieces, it's already clear. Here, this is the best move, this is not. So you have to use the information, and it depends of you. If you can this information transform to the moves, so you will play good.
Okay, good. I read that you were the secretary and youth director for events for FIDE. Is that? Are you still working for FIDE, or is this over already?
No, it's over. I was junior events, because I was head coach of a junior Russian team for 12 years, and then I became chairman of trainers commissions for 2 years. But then I finished, because I finished working with the Russian Chess Federation and also FIDE. So right now I have main student. It's Vladar Murzin, world rapid champion, and also playing by myself. So right now I don't have any relations with some kind of organizations.
Yeah, Volodar was being a champion last year was very surprising, but also he already had shown his capabilities before. I mean, he's still on the rise. So you are his only trainer? You are doing all the day with him, basically?
Not only. Sometimes they have some training sessions with other coaches, because it's better to see another view for chess, some methods, some another practice. So, but I'm main coach.
Yeah, we hope to see you more often playing for Düsseldorf this year.
Thank you.
And yeah, good luck for the next months, and see you very soon again in Düsseldorf.
Thank you.
Thank you.